Do you know what? Actually, now come to think about it, you won't need a ball. It was just in case. Balls on the ball. We might not need a ball in the end. I'm now thinking I'm going to have to do a drill with a ball now.
You played as a kid, see if you can go and find whatever. I've got a ball, but it's unlikely.
Oh, Johnny, we can't use a yellow one. It's got to be an orange one. An orange one.
Like scavenger hunt.
Right, I'm going to keep an eye out. I'm going to put myself in spotlight and we'll get started here. Morning, Charlotte. Yeah, cool.
I'm going to mute. Actually.
So as I was saying, the drills today. Whoa, Christ. Didn't realize how big my forehead was until I got my haircut. The drills today, 2 mobility ones. They're nice and easy mobility ones. Again, just go into where you feel comfortable going, as far as you feel comfortable going. You might find, we're going to do it for a wee bit of time, so you might find the first minute or two a wee bit stiffer, and then it starts to open up. And then the last 2 drills we're going to do are going to be just working on balance and a little bit of loading up on the, what we call the transverse plane, and also the frontal plane as well. So without further ado, we'll get started. So I'm just going to make sure you can see my mat. There we go. And we're just going to lie on our backs, first of all. That's cool to do. So I'm just going to, the first drill is very, very simple. It's anterior and posterior tilting. So this is us on the, what we call the sagittal plane. So we're going to be lying on our backs. And what we're going to do is we're just going to have ourselves pressing our backs into the ground and then rolling our backs off the ground. So we're going to press down into the ground and then roll the back off the ground. I want you to try and think about when you breathe into the mat. And then when you breathe out, rock the pelvis away if you can. So ready? We're going to do this for a good 3 minutes in total. So off we go, nice and breathe in. And breathe out. Again, just work with your own breathing. Roll pelvis towards you. Really tucking the tail going under. And then rock the other direction itself. If you can, whilst you're doing it, have some pressure down through the feet as well. So the feet aren't loose. You're pressing down through the feet. You get a lot of hamstring engagement as well. So you should find that when you rock down, your back comes up. And then when you rock up, your back's pressing down. We'll let Andy in. Here we go. So keep going forward. Breathing in, pressing into the mat, and out, rock away from the mat. Shoulders nice and heavy on the mat, upper back's nice and heavy on the mat, the feet are nice and heavy on the mat, and you're just transitioning between the anterior pelvic tilt when your pelvis is away, and then that posterior tilt when you're pressing the small of your back into the mat. You should feel engagement with the abdominal muscles as well when you're pulling the pelvis up. Just start to explore the movement itself. So just take your time with your breathing. Nice and easy start to the class today. Roll in. Roll out. Roll in. Roll out. Just try and think about, can I get to that extreme of the movement now? Really try and lift the pelvis off. And then really press the pelvis down. When you're pressing the pelvis down, you might find your bottom just lifts off the ground a little bit as well. That's absolutely fine, that's good. And then we'll come back down and pull the bottoms onto the mat itself. So roll towards, lift up. And back out. Really, really important for lower back pain, for stiffness in the lower back. If there's any stiffness around the pelvis, then the weight gets transferred elsewhere, mainly to the knees, into the ankles, and even into the upper back itself. So it's really important that the lower back, especially if you've got a sitting job, or you do spend some time on the bike, to really try and loosen off and move that pelvis as much as you can. 30 seconds to go, guys. So we're going to give 3 minutes in this. anterior and posterior tilt, just to get that pelvis moving. Press the feet down, have engagement of the hamstrings itself. If you wish to pull the heels back toward your bottom at the same time, that just gets a lot more hamstring, but we're focusing on the pelvis itself. The hamstrings do attach to the pelvis, so they do have a role in pulling that pelvis down when we go into the posterior tilt. And then if we can keep them engaged as we go into anterior tilt, we get a nice little stretch. 5, 3, 2, 1, and relax there. We're going to go to our second drill, which you're going to need a foam roller, or you can just like your ball. Okay, get yourself, the bottom leg is going to be at 90 degrees. The top leg's just on the foam roller itself. We're going to try and get ourselves as flat as we can go. And all we're going to do is push down with the heel and then pull back up with the heel. The knee stays locked out on the top leg itself there. So just going to push down. You're going to feel the hip go longer. If you hit the glute there, you'll start to feel the glute working just a little bit, but not working hard. Just engage and then we'll come back up. It's a very, very small movement. Okay, so slide down, drive down the heel. You can pull the toes up and then come back out. Breathe out on the way down. Breathe in as you come back up. It doesn't matter how long you hold it for at the bottom, just you work with your breathing. And then back up. Good. So nice and long, nice and relaxed. Long, we're really opening up this, what we call the transverse, sorry, the frontal plane there, I call it the frontal plane there. And that's really important because its job in running is a lot of the shock absorption. So if it moves well, it absorbs the load well, and it doesn't put it to the lower back, and doesn't put it to the knees. So that's why we've got to really try and get this part of the hip here as mobile and as strong as possible. So we can make the spring really, really long, but it has to be really, really strong as well. So drive the heel down. We're going to do this for about 2 minutes each side. Drive down with the heel, and then bring it back up. Drive down the heel. Be careful not to rotate, so you're staying dead flat. That's what this bottom leg's for, to stop you from rocking and rolling, and back up. Drive through, and back up. Nice, easy start to the class today. Nice mobility for the pelvis. So sometimes it's easy to make you work hard, but sometimes it's easier or harder, so to make the pelvis work well. I'm words and stuff today. I've seen that too many pelvis jokes, and there's not a lot of good pelvis jokes out there. Drive down. Back up. Drive down. Then back up. Down, really push with the heel. So it's not the toes pointing down, it's the heel that's pointing down. So we're really trying to get as we stretch down through the whole posterior chain, which is going to be your glutes, your hamstring, your calf, even at the plantar fascia. You can pull that toes right up towards you. 3, 2, 1, and we're just going to switch over legs. Okay, so switch over legs. The bottom leg is bent up at 90 degrees. The top leg rests on the foam roller. So keep this up nice and long as well. And again, we're going to keep the leg locked out, toes pulled up. And we're just pushing down with the heel and then back up. Down with the heel and then back up. You might find one side slides really, really nicely. One side is really quite sticky or just doesn't slide as well. That's the side you want to really work on, because you sometimes find that if you've got a tight hip on one side, it doesn't allow that hip to drop down. If you've got a tight lower back on one side, it doesn't allow that pelvis to drop in. So just you be aware of what you feel. And if one side's tighter than the other, then really work into that. Down and back up. So it's a very, very small movement. And we're keeping the knee locked out and the toes up. So we're really trying to get some length into this part you find that the rib cage to pelvis is longer and then gets shorter. So it's like an accordion, it gets longer, it opens up, and then it gets shorter as you go back up towards it. But all the accordions, they have to be able to open and shut. So there's no point in just being fixed in one position. So nice length and back up. Open, push it down, feel the stretch down to the whole lateral flank, and then back up. If you wish to place your hand onto the pelvis and just push the pelvis down as you go through, you get an extra stretch above the pelvis. Back up. Ready and press. Back up. Press. Back up. Really right thing. Back up. So nice paracetamol for a hip. If you're feeling your hips get stiff, this is a great paracetamol for the hips just to get that hips moving again. Down. Back up. Down. Back up. 10 seconds, guys. Up. Down. 3, 2, 1, and relax. The next drill we're going to do, just pop from rows to the side. And we're just going to be hand and knees, and all we're going to do is hip circumduction. So just going to be big, long circles with the hip. And we're going 2 minutes, so 1 minute one direction on one hip, and 1 minute the opposite direction. Okay, so we start going clockwise with the left hand's hip. So keep yourself nice and long the spine. And I want you to think about keeping the knee about 90 degrees. If you have a spiky ball, put the spiky ball in between the calf and the knee, and you can maintain that the whole time. That would be great. If you don't have a spiky ball or it keeps on falling out, don't worry. Off we go. It's a nice circle of the hip. Easy to get that hip just lubricated, getting that synovial fluid moving around a bit the hip. If you need to make the hip movement smaller, please do. The speed is your own. The speed that you're comfortable with. So the role for this drill is keeping the pelvis nice and level whilst we move the hip around it. 15 seconds. Good work. Super, super slow, super controlled. 3, 2, 1. Change legs over. We're going to go anti-clockwise with the right hand leg. Keeping the spines long. Keeping the knee at 90 degrees, so the knee doesn't straighten out. It's all coming from the hip itself. So rather than kicking from the knee, it's all coming from the hip itself. You might find that might limit your range slightly, but that's absolutely fine. Slow and steady wins the race. Five seconds. Super, super slow. Keep the breathing nice and controlled. We're all about mobility just now. And then we're going to start to work that glutes and stand. So we're going to switch back onto the left leg, and it's going to be anti-clockwise. Okay, so anti-clockwise. So you drive forward, out, and back. Keeping the knee still at 90 degrees. Good work. You might find that in one direction, it feels like a circle. And then when you start in the opposite direction, it might feel like a square or a box. It's more clunky. Just work within what you're able to do, nice and slow and controlled. The main role of the pelvis and the hip is to transfer the weight from the ground to the whole body, but also transferring forces from the upper body into the lower body itself. 3, 2, 1. Over onto the right hand leg. We're going clockwise this time. So clockwise with the right. Knees at 90 degrees. Long with the spine. Breathe in nice and regular. You control the breathing, but I want you to be aware of how you breathe. In through the nose if you can. Breathe to the middle of the back if you can. Breathe out through the belly button if you can as well. 15 seconds. Really search the full range there. If there's any sharp pain at all, just limit the range that you push into. No pinching allowed. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we've got the stand. Our first drill in standing is going to be our aeroplane, okay? So we're going to be standing. You can make noises if you wish, so it's up to yourself. Stand on the left leg. Right leg is going to go out the back. Right leg goes out the back. And all we're going to do is we're going to rotate. And then we're going to rotate the opposite direction. Okay? So we're going for 1 minute, 3 sets each leg. Okay, so left leg first of all. We're going to stand. Wall's too close. And we're just going to rotate. So try and keep your balance as much as you can. And it's the rotation to open the pelvis up. And then close the pelvis back down. Open the pelvis back up. And that down. If you want to just put your hands on your hips to open the pelvis up, please do. Open up. So. And feel the pelvis move as you rotate around. And that. Good work. Bash the ball in. Back and keep going. 10 seconds, just still on the left leg. Rotate around. And switch legs over, guys. Switch legs over. Right leg now. Hinge forward, leg out the back. Also rotate around. Back in. Feel the pelvis rotate around. And back in. Rotate around. And back in. Long with the back leg. If you're losing your balance a lot, just put one hand on the wall. But allow that pelvis still to rotate out and rotate back in. 10 seconds. And we go. And we go. Keep breathing nice and controlled. 3, 2, 1. Back on the first leg, your legs will shake out. Left leg. Hinge from the hips, stick the bottom out. So you're pressing the pelvis in to lean forward. So lean forward and up the go. Rotate. Back in. Rotate. Really try and pull that pelvis back as far as you feel comfortable going. Let's go ahead again. I'll keep going forward. Good, guys. Let your head go with it as well if you can. Okay, so look to where you're going. That makes you work that balance just a wee small bit more. Good. And then drop the pelvis down. So actually feel that pelvis coming in. Good, guys. Well done. So hands on hips for 15 seconds to go. Opening out. Coming back in. If you do find this one a little bit hard work, it does show the stability of the hips a little bit reduced, so it makes them to work on. It's quite nice to do throughout the day. Just stand, do 3 or 4 repetitions, then carry on your life. So it's what we call a movement snack. So if you're thinking I'm going to have something to eat, maybe a little bit of movement snack as well as a food snack as well. So just shoehorn it into your day. 3, 2, 1. Second set on the right hand leg. Hinge forward, so push the hips back, along with the back leg. Off we go. 8. Pelvis rotates down. So if your belt buckle had a head torch on it, we're going to shine it to the ground. We're going to shine it to the side and bring it back to the ground itself. Now, good. Out to the side and back in. Open the upper body up as well, so pull the chest through and then back down. Chest through and back down. The knees nice and soft on that front leg. Good. And back through. Back through. Lovely work. 10 seconds to go. Lean forward. Open the hips out. Back in. Ankles should be working hard. Knees working hard. Hips working hard. All the joints in the right position. Last one off the left hand side. So we switch things over. Last minute, left hand leg. Hinge forward. Leg out. Long with the back leg. So open the pelvis up. Rotate the upper body with it. So the fixed leg stays pointed forward, but everything else is moving on. So we're really working the gluteal medius, sorry, the glute medius. Also, we're working the malleus, obturator, some of the smaller stabilizing muscles around the hip. We get a really bad press, we get lower back pain. So it's really important that we get this hip as strong as possible. 20 seconds, guys. Slow, 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 controlled. Back in. 5 seconds. Last couple reps. Let's try and squeeze another one in. Take the upper body, take the lower body, keep the fixed leg punch straight forward and relax there. Over onto the right leg for our last set on the right leg. Okay, so the right leg's down. We're hinging. Long through the back leg is something. Lean forward. Shine the torch to the screen. Shine the torch back down the ground. That's for me only. If you're facing towards the screen, that'll be away from the screen. Pelvis hips up. Pelvis drops down. The back foot rotates. So the toes should be pointing to the ground where you're facing forward. And you should be pointing 90 degrees further on where you rotate around. 30 seconds, guys, 30 seconds left. Keep moving forward. Keep the form nice. Keep the control there. You really feel the ankle having to work hard as well to stabilize the rest of the body as it rotates around. Really good for five-a-side football, for trail running, for anything that requires changing direction. Really important that the upper body can move while the foot is fixed to the ground. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Again, legs up, shake out. One last drill, guys. One last drill. Go. So, We're going to be, if I show you first of all, we're going to be going into our single leg stance. We're going to use the left leg's forward, right leg's back. We're up, over, onto the front leg. And what we're going to do is we're just going to come right down as we're leaning to allow the knee to touch the ground. And then we're going to just drive right back up through. Knee still stays up. We're still in our hip hinge here. We're just going to collapse down, reach towards the ground, let the knee touch, and then drive through the front leg itself. So there's minimal weight on the back leg at all here. We're looking at just going down slowly onto the knee. So you might have to start. If you're too narrow, you won't get a good movement. So you've got to start with the foot further back. So then hinge forward, and we're just going to drop and collapse down. Let the knee come down, touch the ground. Then we're going to drive through and back up again, pull the hips through. Okay, we're going to start in 5 seconds. Take this off the screen. 3, 2, left leg forward, off we go. So hinge first, lean forward, then slouch down. Let the arms just come down, knuckles towards the ground. Let the back knee just touch, but all the weight on the front foot. And then we're going to stand up through that front foot itself there. As soon as you get to the top, hinge. Knuckles heavy. Lower your back foot so there's no weight on it. Knee touches. Push through the front foot. Bring yourself back up. Third bit. Hinge. Knuckles heavy. Slouch down. Slide the back leg. Tap the knee. Then drive through the foot. Bring yourself back up. Lovely. Last one. Hinge. Slide the back foot. Heavy with the hands. Hold in this position here. Drive through the foot. And change over, guys. Well done. Give a little shake. Hard work that one there. Well done. Well done. So, right foot forward, left foot back. Up, over, on. Get the hinge right. Back foot's doing nothing. Knuckles heavy. Off we go. Knee touches. Right through the front foot. You might find the foot slide with the back, or you might just lift it. Hinge. Knuckles heavy. Down we go. Knee touches. Drive through the front foot. Bring yourself back. Hinge. Back foot out. Knuckles heavy. Slide. Knee touches. Drive through the front foot. Even slower, James. This time even slower. Hinge. Knuckles heavy. Low on the way down. Knee touches. Stall the weight to the front leg. Drive. Bring that drive back up. And relax it. One last set, guys. We're going to go back on our left leg. Left leg. Right leg back. Right hand into the crease. Left hand on the hip. Up over. Press. Get our hinge good. Knuckles heavy. Gorilla arms. Down the come. Weight on that 4 points of the foot. So the big toe, small toe, outside and inside of the heel. Good drive. Hinge. Knuckles heavy. Down we go. Keeping the whole foot flat on the floor. Drive through that front foot. Up top. Hinge. Push the hip back. Drop down through the leg. Really get heavy in that front foot. Knee touches. Press through the foot. Bring yourself back up. Hinge. head and knuckles. Lock down. Front foot still flat, it doesn't bend up the heels off the ground. Drive through that front foot. Last one. Hinge. Head knuckles down, go slow. Knee touches, let the weight still on the front foot. Lift that back leg off, drive through X and switch over. Last one. Right leg. Anyone? Speed drop. Left hand at the inguinal piece at the front. Right hand on the hip. Push the hip back. Lean forward. And off we go. Head knuckles. Weight down through that front foot so the heel doesn't come off. Heel taps. Drive back through. Lovely job. Hinge. Head. Down, go, let the knee come down, weight going through the middle of the foot. Try to lift that leg as soon as you can. In the back leg. Hinge. Slide. Head ups. Knee down. Came up. 2 more reps. Hinge. Head ups. There we go. Weight slow on that front foot. Push to the ground. Bring you back up. Last one. Hinge properly. Hands. Lower. Knee touches. Push to the ground. On the one leg. And relax. Good job. And we are done. Cooked. Cooked. We've got 3 minutes 54 for any questions. Timed to perfection. So the main goal of today was, first of all, move the hip through range, all different planes. So we've got our anterior, posterior tilt. We've got our hitching that we spoke about before, which is important for the shock absorption when running. And also we've got the rotation as well, which is important for running as well, to really try and get that leg swing through. We then went on to stabilizing on one side while the pelvis moves on the other side. So we can really get the deep fixers of the hip, so the gemellus, obturator, these smaller muscles, that their main job is to focus on keeping that hip nice and stable. And that tends to be where we lose a lot of our stability when we're running. We see a lot of people's hips drop too much, and that's where the back's got to really work hard, and the back just goes into a little bit of spasm. So that's why you can sometimes get a little bit of back pain when you run. Any questions, queries, or any concerns?
I couldn't get my rear knee to touch the ground on that last exercise.
Is your left ankle at the front?
I'm feeling my heel coming up.
Yeah, so it's an ankle range kind of thing. So what it does is just go as far down. It's where the heel's still stuck to the ground. And then what you can do is just shift your weight back slightly to get the last bit.
Yeah.
But practice it, and what to do is just think about how far off the ground am I now, and do it a couple of times. Am I getting closer? But I wouldn't force it. Just use the time to gradually get into that range itself. But if you've had any history of ankle issues, you'll probably find your ankles quite stiff into what we call dorsiflexion. So when you're pulling the toes up towards you, you might not have the same range just then. So try not to force that too quickly. Good work though. As long as your weight's on the front foot, that's a key thing for that drill itself there. And you're going down as far as your body will let you. And the more you do it, the better and better it gets. Rome wasn't built in a day, but they chip the blocks every single day. So if you can, even like in between meetings or anything like that, have a little movement snack where you can either do an airplane or you can do that slouch single leg. Walkies. Walkies. Is that which one's that? Thistle. And where's the other one, Ali?
Oh, she likes to sleep in the morning. She goes upstairs to bed.
Teenager. Well done, guys. Good job. Good seeing you, Andy. Good seeing you, Charlotte. Well done, Johnny, Lynn, Ali. Take care. Have a lovely week. If there's any questions that you want to ask, just drop us an email.
Okay,
Thanks.
thanks.
Good job.
Bye.